Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm the Strategy Professor, and today we're going to be doing another episode in our legendary Tyrion campaign for Total War Warhammer 2. Special thanks again to Simon for donating for this campaign.
Champion of the Ever Queen.
Be sure to check out the rest of the content on the channel as well. Like and subscribe. If you made it this far, you're probably enjoying the content, so if you like and subscribe, it will help other people find it and enjoy it as well. Okay, so I probably just spent like an hour and a half, maybe even up to 2 hours, like studying and thinking about these next few moves that I want to make here, because if you'll remember from last episode, we did get that confederation with Ilariel.
Light of Avalon.
What we've been jockeying for the whole time. And I went around and managed all of the towns, managed the armies and all that stuff. So the TLDR is I trimmed a little bit off of each one of my sort of secondary armies. I kept this one over here just in case Bastogne comes after me. It's 4 more turns until they can formally attack me without some kind of like political trick. So you have to wait 10 turns after a non-aggression to go hostile. But they are sitting right here, like in my territory, so they could just say whatever and go hostile if they wanted to. So I kept them around. There's also a chance that I might need this army to help with this. They're basically going to have the equivalent of like 50-something units, like 55 units here that I'm going to have to fight with. So I'm only going to be able to get 40, obviously, with Tyrion and Ilariel. So being able to tip the scales and get it closer to 50 is probably going to be preferable. It'd be really nice if I did have Lightning Strike with Tyrion, but I was really greedy with my build because I thought I could get these couple of things in there before Chaos came out, which is where you really need Lightning Strike. So I should have just spent the 1 point at Lightning Strike instead of something else random that I had instead of, I don't know, Draft Master is pretty good. I have to have Draft Master before I can even get it. I don't know, these are all good. I mean, I guess maybe I had to do it this way just because like this 20 diplomatic is probably what helped me get that confederation with Ilariel. I could have gotten it instead of Righteous Cause though, most likely. Although this saves a lot of money, being able to Lightning Strike out this 120 stack army would have been very nice. But anyways, it is what it is. So we're gonna wait on that. Okay, so I trimmed a lot off of each army. I got rid of this army up here. I'm keeping all of the handmaidens. We have a lot of them, and they have buffed them a lot.
Protector of the Everqueen.
More than they have in the past. They're actually decent combatants now. They have 50 armor, which is respectable. And then they have 49 melee attack, 62 defense. They do have the martial prowess too, so they're going to end up with like 74 melee defense, which is really nice. Then they also do have okay missile damage, like really good range. I said I don't like archers that much, like archer hero type of units, but the fact that they're also pretty decent in melee is nice. So that is sort of just a perk on top of it, just to have that range to go with it. But the big thing is, most of them have this +1 Sisters of Avalon. So Sisters are going to be capped. I'm not sure which kind of unit they're going to be yet. I'm hoping they're considered a special unit, not an elite unit. I guess we'll find out as soon as we get that building up. But you can only start with up to 5 Sisters. We look over here. We get this building, like the base cap is 2, and you get 3 per one of these. And this is a tier 4 town. It's really hard, as you can see, to get to tier 4 in a lot of towns because elves don't have fantastic growth. So it's going to be really hard to get to these units in a lot of places around the world. And so those heroes being like decent melee combatants themselves and being able to give you 1 more Sisters cap is pretty huge. So that's a huge part of it. And then they also have some decent skills as well. So eventually, even though I have like 5, I'm going to send 2 of them to go scout. So this one's going to go scout out the Dark Elves and just sort of see what they're working with over there. And then I've got one of them coming down south to try to scout out Teclis and see what his situation is and maybe get a confederation with him eventually. Now also potentially to get some trade partners along this coast if any of the human factions are still alive. Or if Vampire Coast wants to trade with us, which is unlikely, but so they're still useful even as scouts because they're giving us that extra sister capacity. And I think having that extra capacity is probably worth the 355 upkeep gold. They also have a really nice skill in there. I don't know if we talked about this last time, but this Hawkish Precision, specifically with Sisters of Avalon, is going to give them 25% extra armor-piercing damage, which they have quite a lot of that. So that's a lot of extra damage. So they do have a good aura in addition to being a pretty decent fighter. Damage building. Okay, I thought they had damage walls. That's the War Master. Damage building is bad. But the replenish troops is really good in general. Stimulating growth can be good in places that you just took over. And they have like a selection of like pretty decent things. Extra +1 public order when you get them really high level everywhere is very nice as well. So they just got some good stuff. They're decent fighters. You know, I think they're probably worth it in this game. They've buffed them up enough to where they're worth it. So that's why we're keeping all of those sisters around. And then as far as the building that we're going with, kind of fitting that theme, all of this stuff is going to be 30% more expensive because this place is technically an unpleasant climate. So we're kind of balling on a budget here. All of this stuff is going to be fairly expensive, like 10,000 gold a pop for these buildings. We only have 23,000. And I think ultimately it's worth it to build it up here because if I wait until down here, yes, it's going to be 30% cheaper. But at the same time, it's going to take like 10 additional turns to even start the construction. So it's 6 turns before I get to 4 growth, and then this is going to be an additional 5 turns, so it's 11 turns before I could even start the growth, and I do not want to wait that long. So I think paying 30% more to get something 11 turns faster is probably worth it.
We are the guardians of order.
Also, you know, as I mentioned last time, this is kind of on the more northern part of the island, which is where I think a lot more of the action is going to come from. Chaos is probably coming through here. There's a chance we could get more Chaos or Norsca or something over here, and then of course we have sort of the Dark Elf threat over here. Whereas I think the bottom right might leave us alone. I'm not sure. Like with the pirates, it could be an issue. But this is like the red zone here. I think these are people that are already at war with us, that are hostile, and that I know that Chaos is going to come through here and come for us. So that's another thing, is it's positioned better, I think, for employment or for like building an army, and I can do it right now. So the question becomes, well, what do I want to build? Well, I don't have the starting building here, which is 5,000 to get, and then these Phoenix units aren't really, like, they're okay, but they're supportive units. They're not really sort of the super hyper-powerful units. So I think we'll pass on those for now. Gate Guard, we can hire those near some of those gates that are already up here, so we don't need those. I was thinking about dragons. One thing to note is, like, this thing right here, the smith, is required for both the sisters, as you can see, and for Sword Masters of Hoeth. Now, the dragons don't require it, but those two do. Now, speaking of the dragons here, they are very, very expensive. And I'm not sure how they're going to be classified. They could count as rare monsters. They could also count as elite. I think they're going to either be rare or elite units. I don't think they're going to be special units. So that means that I'm only going to be able to have 4, possibly only 2 of them in an army. Just depending on how they get classified in this cap system, this capacity system. It doesn't tell us right now how they're going to get classified, but they could be rare or they could be elite, one or the other, but they're going to have a very a lower capacity than what I hope handmaidens will, or sisters will. I think sisters, especially because it's giving you like up to 3 Sisters of Avalorn. I'm hoping those are just counted as specialty units. Wow, this doesn't even give you extra Gate Guard. I guess Gate Guard aren't capped as far as like your faction is concerned, but they're capped on a per army basis. Okay. It looks like this thing is not capped either in terms of army, but these are. So anyways, I could have up to a total of, it says base cap per unit, +1 sun and moon dragons. So the grammar there is a little weird, but I think I would have a total of 2 sun dragons and 2 moon dragons I could get off of this. So I could put 1 sun and 1 moon in each army. They are, however, 1,000 gold each, which is roughly 2.5 handmaiden or sisters, which is a lot, and that's like 1.5 sword masters. And if you look at their stats, they are good, but they're not like eye-popping, like holy cow good. I mean, it's got 45 melee attack. You know, my spears right now have more than that. My spears are going to have, you know, upgraded spears.
Protector of the Everqueen.
Are going to be close. They're going to be 44 right now, and then when they actually go into combat, they're going to get +8, +8. So yeah, they're going to be at 52 melee attack and 65 melee defense. because of the upgrades. And that's what it basically comes down to with Tyrion, and why I'm not going for the dragons right away. It's because you just can't get upgrades for them. There just are not good upgrades for dragons early on. Like this, we already have the upgrades for sisters here. And that's, I'll just go ahead and tell you, I'm going to get the sisters. But a big part of it is because we already have upgrades in place for the sisters, and they're good upgrades. Like 20% extra ammo and 10% reload time for this. And then we also have that technology which does the same thing right here, right, with precise fletching. Yeah, 20% for sisters and 10% missile damage for sisters. So those are two really, really massive upgrades. And then we also get things like extra armor on them off of this. They don't get all of this stuff. Like, they don't get archery prowess, but they get most of it. They get a lot of the stuff that we've already gotten for Sea Guard and for our spears. So they have a really good sort of tech advancement. And we can get 9 of them, as I just mentioned a second ago, because we have all of these handmaidens. We're able to get 9 sisters, whereas with dragons, we could only get 4 dragons. And they are much cheaper. Yeah, and so that's just a huge part of it. Also, Alariel, they do 10% extra damage with Alariel as per her Radiant passive or whatever. So that's really nice. So they have better tech. They're cheaper. You know, we can get more of them in general. And they just have more impressive stats. I mean, look at this. This appears to me to be like pretty ridiculous. Like 82 damage. She doesn't even have the tech that gives them, like, I guess that's reload time, 10% more reload time damage. And these are level 9. But still, like, that's sick. That's so much damage. And it's heavy armor piercing, which goes well with the handmaids we just mentioned before, because they can get that skill. I think it's like snipe. Maybe it's not snipe. Hawkish precision, that's it. It does a ton of extra damage. So they just have a lot of, like, bonus stuff that's just really, really good. Whereas the dragons, we don't have a lot, like, with the dragons. You know, none of our stuff's going to give melee defense or melee attack. We'd have to go get separate skills for that. There is no tech until you get to Tech Tree 5, which we're not going up there anytime soon. We don't have the buildings for it, and we don't have the money for it, and it's pretty anemic to begin with. But yeah, we'd have to go over here to, like, Sky Master, which is only, like, 12% weapon strength, which is, like, okay, but it's not the same as 8 melee attack, 8 defense, and it's not the same as, you know, 40% extra ammo with 20% reload time. So, yeah, I mean, that's ultimately what it comes down to. And as far as the techs go, I just mentioned the dragon. You don't get dragon tech until over here, tier 5, and the most you're going to get is, like, some armor and melee defense. I guess you do get some weapon strength here and melee attack. So you do get some decent stuff in melee defense and armor. But this stuff's going to take forever to research. It's going to cost like a bazillion gold. It's just not anywhere close to where I am right now. So we will get dragons eventually, but because we're going to be balling on a budget, I think we're going to end up going with sisters. Sword masters are kind of a toss-up. I think they can be good. You know, they are kind of unique in the sense that they are like very heavy infantry shredding units, which is really nice. They get plus 20 versus infantry. So they are very good, and we will get them eventually. But what it comes down to right now, I think, is I can only get 3 of them. So you only start with 2, and you get hero capacity plus 1. So we can get up to 3 total versus 9 sisters, in theory. So that's a huge hit. Also, their melee defense is pretty low, so they're basically just like a heavy offense, you know, slaughter, weaker infantry type of stuff. So, like, spears are probably going to be better at just holding out. I don't know. These do have heavier armor. They are very expensive, though, too, for 723. Now, I do want the Lord Master of Hoeth, but I think ultimately that's why we're going to go with just this plus sister, and then if we get enough gold for one more building, we'll see next turn, then we could maybe go for getting this. For the War Master, if nothing else. Those War Masters are pretty decent. So yeah, that's how we're going to plan it right now. And eventually, you know, we might get some of these other things. We will get the dragon, you know, pit eventually. I do still like them. I mean, they do have that breath attack, which is really nice. They can flank. They can get up on the raptors. Also, another consideration, though, is we're about to fight a bunch of high elves. And you know what high elves are really good against? Large units. Everything in the high elf roster just about as good against large units, right? Their baseline spears are good. Their Lothern Sea Guard get a bonus versus large. Their Gate Guard get a bonus versus large. Their heroes get bonuses versus large. Just everything gets a bonus versus large with High Elves. So it's probably not the best to try to take some dragons into High Elf army. They'll be more useful against Dark Elves probably. Like Dark Elves still have some pretty good anti-large stuff, but not as much as High Elves. Not as preponderant as High Elves, I should say. Okay, so we've got all this set up. We've trimmed all the buildings as well. We're waiting on the 20% construction cost for next turn. We've moved everybody, so we're good to go. I just want to spend like 5 minutes, but I guess I've taken 15, just to explain why I'm doing what I'm doing. Could get those eventually, but we'll probably just wait up on that. Okay, we've got all of these prepped to equip, so we can actually go ahead and move him up.
Inspecting the garrison.
We built all the buildings. We've done all the diplomacy. We're going to wait till next turn also and do this invocation of Assyrian. Okay, yeah, I think this is all good. So we get the discount on everything, and then we're going to try to buy up some stuff. I don't think I'm going to be able to afford, because it's going to cost money to actually hire the sisters and to hire a lot of these other units. Sisters are probably going to cost like 2,000 gold each. And so we're going to have like 5 sisters, ideally, if they're considered special units. 5 sisters with Alariel and 4 with Tyrion. Then we're going to throw 1 gate guard in, or 2 gate guards with Tyrion and 1 gate guard with Alariel. And that's going to be our 6 special units. And then just a bunch of spears and maybe a couple extra Lothern Sea Guard. Just to protect the sisters. And those are going to be pretty good against Chaos too, I think, eventually. I couldn't get a straight answer on the magic damage that I looked up last time. I assume you can go into negative magic resist. I know you can go into like negative leadership values. I've seen that before. Okay, so they're raiding us over in Gothic, so we might have to fight them here in a minute.
Brave news, my lord.
Chaos for real
Word
already?
is spreading across the land of a dark power rising in the northern wastes. The armies of chaos are on the move. They surely plan to invade the world of mortals once again.
Just got rid of a bunch of units too. Any more beastmen? Just 1 beastman. Oh, we do get Age of Discovery though. Okay, because they came out on turn 35.
Welcome.
I just got rid of a bunch of units too. I'm not. This is going to take 4 turns for these, and it's going to take 2 or 3 turns to hire Avalorn. They're probably going to get burned. What kind of... Okay, turn around. Code red. We got to go up here and see what they are up to. I assume they're going to send all of that stuff at me. Now, one thing that's a little different about this game with the diplomacy that was kind of like a little weird to me was that great power is giving me a positive modifier. Like, it makes sense to me that people would start coming after me if I'm really powerful, especially hostile factions. Like, even beastmen are giving me like bonuses for great power. I mean, maybe some factions that like respect strength and things like that, maybe, you know. But like even warriors of chaos, like dark elves should not respect me for anything. They have a version 150, so why am I getting plus 30 diplomacy with them? Because of great power. It just seems really snowbally. Like, as you get more powerful, as you get more confederations and gain more territory, people are just gonna like give you more and more and more. And it seems like that makes the game even more snowbally than it is. I kind of like the concept of like factions coming after you more to kill you when you get more powerful, to try to stop you from taking over the world. Especially factions that are hostile to you. So, like I said, I can get it if maybe it's your own faction. It's like, wow, you're like emerging as the leader, you know, of your faction. You're bringing all the people together and stuff. I could see them wanting to join up with that. So that kind of makes sense, especially in terms of like high elves maybe. And I could see some like warrior race type of things respecting you if you have a powerful army. But I just don't see everybody getting on board with that. Okay, so now we're at war with all the villainous things, so, like, the good guys are starting to come over to our side now. Which, that does make sense, but... I just think that the good guys already have it way easier than the bad guys in this game. I feel like, you know, things like Norska and Skarsnik and some of these other ones are some of the harder campaigns because you can't do diplomacy with anybody hardly because everybody hates you. You can't trade. You can't really confederate with a lot of people. I don't know. I think the good guys kind of get a pass in this game, but anyways.
Curse my crowded psyche.
Let's see.
Okay, well, we did already spot my man up here.
Defender of truth. Deliver your terms, and I shall consider them.
Do I want to do one treaty at a time, or do I want to go ahead and just skip everything? I think I kind of want the money off of him. How strong is he? He's not very strong. Of course, like, the more treaties I can get with him, you know, that faster I can potentially confederate with him eventually. Okay,
If you
fine.
say so.
We'll do one treaty per turn then. Yeah, he's in a fairly weak and say, oh wow, they are after him.
Consider it done. If you say so.
Okay, so that should, yeah, that's going to boost us up a lot. So we can eventually grab him if we want to. The problem is, okay, we do have a green port, which is the capital, I believe. Let me see. Okay, well now we're probably not going to fight Trace. I know I was hyping up that battle a lot. We're probably just going to play nice with him and see if we can get some alliances, because that is going to help us out a lot diplomatically with them. Okay, all regions get 2% from ports. I thought it used to be 5. Maybe they nerfed it. Elven colonies are pretty strong. He doesn't get anything special there. It's tier 3.
By the cruel seas. Archon rolls.
There is no limit to my
He's probably
power.
coming after him. Battle skills. I wish I could see what he was working with here.
My infinite knowledge is yours.
He's strong as hell, though. +2 for mages and capacity. All provinces can recruit mages. Yeah. It's pretty decent. He's getting in trouble, though. I would have to put an army down here. It'd be hard to hold it. I could maybe do it after I beat back some of these other units. The fact that the main town is a suitable climate where I could build some decent stuff is okay. Fuming Serpent, let me see. This place is... Jungle's on the rough side. Okay, let's look at some more diplomacy here. Nagaryth.
Not one Druki on Nagaryth.
Protector of... I will receive
we're
your
gonna
petition in
try
the
to play
name
nice
of the
with them.
Phoenix King.
if we can, just because we're gonna have to fight chaos, and then we want to deal with this other stuff instead.
I cannot do this.
Well, maybe not. Maybe we have to kill him anyways. I don't know.
Burden of the Shadowlands, come in peace. Perhaps you may even leave Nagaroth that way too. The time is not right.
Valiant
Vegan's
lord.
errantry. Sure.
Bow before the rightful lords of this land, and I'll hear.
Y'all are paying me something for that. Come on. How about both?
I will.
Okay. Dang, they got a lot of stuff. Okay. They're cool with it. I think we're going to 100. When we start murdering chaos, dude, people are going to start
The lady
really liking
grants
us.
you safe passage in these lands.
I need to keep everybody safe if I can from chaos, so I need to send an army over here to help. Because, you know, they are my paycheck. Like, having towns sucks. Unless it has a port, elves just don't make any money off their towns. Like, it's all about that trade. So we got to protect our trade partners. So we might need to send a squad over here
I will
to, like,
not.
hunt down these chaos swarms that are about to come flying through there over the next, like, 20 turns or so. I don't know if I have enough to send that many people over there, though. I mean, chaos
Very
is
well.
pretty freaking tough, or they used to be, unless they nerfed them with this mod, so...
Do you know who I am? The lady grants you safe passage in these lands. If needs must. 'Tis done.
Good, so they're getting off my case here. Come on, bro, get over it. We had a little fight. You know, it's cool. Fought it out, it's all good.
Protector of the realm. The lady grants you safe passage in these lands.
So yeah, I was not expecting chaos. Sorry, this is a lot more city management than I wanted, but hopefully we get a good fight here coming up soon. I'm just trying to, like, get every penny I can get off of these guys.
Fine.
Dark are these times, and dark my... I am Morgiana, Fey Enchantress of Bretonia.
Fine.
It is done.
Lord of what? The lady grants you safe passage in these lands. Never! Very well.
Okay, I've got most of these.
Armored in faith.
The flame.
The laws of chivalry demand I hear you. All right.
Now we're talking. Now we're getting some trade. Okay, fine.
I suppose so.
So when chaos comes out, that's when you can see everything in the world, I guess. You see all the ports. Now, I have tried
Bring
to play nice
fire
with
and
these
terror.
guys. Or not Blessed Dread. Oh, yeah, that's...
I
thought
come
that was
with
a
the
different
might
faction.
of the
Dwarves still don't like us very much.
Who calls? Come then.
Come
Only
on, buddy.
Sigma's
You-
god, Ulrich, can judge it.
affirmative.
Yes. Okay. That's actually really important because then I can see where chaos is.
So be it.
I need to get military access with them so that I can go through there and help them hold that territory against, like, all this stuff that's going to come rolling through there. I don't see Kislev yet. Oh, yeah, here we go, Kislev.
Kislev. The Tsarina empowers
yeah,
me
they're
to
like,
offer
"Please,
you
anything.
warm
Help us."
greetings this chilly eve.
Like, please, Sir Elf. I think we need to milk this over multiple turns. I think they're gonna always be green with us, so we'll just see if we can get like 300 or 500 gold off of them every turn, and then we'll get over there. Hopefully, at some point we can help them out. Our trade is gonna I'm gonna get like 10,000 gold in trade off of this.
Master
We're
of
gonna need it,
cruelty.
'cause
1,000 cruel curses.
it's gonna be expensive. But we cannot let them start burning all that stuff. Because the more towns a place has, the more they can trade with you. That's why Kislev's like 1,000 gold in income. So they have 7 properties. Versus something like, and Oslin's going to be a huge amount, 1,400. Versus something like, these guys, Empire has 5, so that's 700. Where's the little dinky one? Bordello has 3, so it's 500. So the more properties a place has, the more stuff they can buy from you. So we want to get them as many properties as we can, do. Okay, I think we got it all. Blessed.
Fly the cruel seas. Death lurks behind
it. Do trade agreements with us. We got all the other ones though. Oh, Talia.
Yes?
Greetings, stranger.
I refuse.
Oh, come on, bro. What? Y'all trolling. On aggression?
All right.
Okay. Great. It's only 195. I mean, they're basically about to die. Well, they have a pretty decent army, but only 1 town. It's kind of a mixed bag with these guys. Now, these guys do not care about our great power. Actually, great power is negative with them, so it's still negative with the Tomb Kings. They don't care about us fighting chaos either, so... They like our great power, but they don't care about us fighting chaos.
King of the vampire
Sing the songs of death!
I mean, I do want to go over and kill her eventually, but... I tried to do a trade agreement with this dude. They do not like all of our agreements with everyone else. She doesn't care, though. I mean, I do need to go kill her, but I've got some other priorities right now.
You are not the Phoenix King. I shall only sing for the
curtain raises.
That'll let us scout her out, too. There's virtually no way in the lore that she would ever do anything with the High Elves. She hates us, but...
You are a problem.
She's also in kind of a tight spot. She's about to get eliminated.
I will parley with you.
Count Noctilus Ray for crossing me.
Yeah, these guys were trading with us at some point, but they decided not to. Yeah, she's in kind of a tough spot. Torgoven.
Azray, the woods of Athalloran welcome you. Deliver your message.
Good old payment action in here, what do you think?
Not possible. What do you need? You have been
I don't want to do military
access to
alliance
the
because
halls
that,
of
or
Athalloran.
defensive because that could draw me into some wars over here with these elves. I mean, guess it's not a huge deal, but I'm not that hard up for money. Okay, good. So we did end up getting like 10,000 extra gold off of that stuff. Okay, so now we're gonna do this. Do we need anything else? This will give us 5 melee defense if we need it for fights, which we probably will. 5,000 is pretty expensive, though. Will give us a magical item. I think getting the public order, the diplomacy, and the construction costs, importantly, is huge. Alright, so let's go ahead and do that. Saving the 10% construction cost, it's basically going to pay for itself.
Our traditions make us strong.
So now we're going to do Smith, Sisters, 14,000 left. Could try to get dragons, or we could go ahead and get some of these. It's possible we could get some sword masters. Now, sword masters are pretty good against chaos in general. Sadie, stop. She always wants to put her wet little nose into my hand. Think about it. We're gonna have to try to build some defensive structures if we want to try to hold this stuff at all.
We will endure.
We're not gonna have time to build Sword of Cain or Shrine of Cain. It's gonna give us 9 defensive units. Sadie, stop. It's pretty cheap. We can cancel it if we need to, I guess. It's a bit more expensive. 6 turns is gonna be way too late. Don't care if they burn that. I mean, honestly, I don't care if they burn most of this. All I want is the Sword of Cain. This stuff's just not even worth it, public order-wise, to try to manage.
Elven beauty.
Like, Shrine of Cain, I could just have just this one area, have the rest of this stay burned, and just go with this one area, and, you know, just throw down a Shrine of Cain, and just, like, a defensive public order place, and that would probably be best. Honestly, because I'm getting -3 from, like, each one of these other places. So I'd have to have a 3 public order building to try to cancel it. It would just be rough. Alright, Miss Nar. We need all of this stuff. We can't really hire anything except for tier 2 stuff over here. This would let us hire spearmen and archers, so I think we just get rid of this and we try to build one of these.
Lord of the Phoenix Court.
Stop, Sadie. Just sit down. Am I going to be able to wait the 4 turns? I mean, they're not getting through this gate, first of all. I'm almost positive they're not getting through this gate if I have an army there. So I could just leave this stuff out to burn. Yeah, maybe I just wait. Maybe I just run with that. Well, this is earning me some amount of money per turn. I'm not sure how fast they're going to come rolling through here. But I could just leave that out to burn and then just try to defend this area. And then just let Trace deal with them for a little bit.
Guardian of the Phoenix Crown.
What do I do with him?
Can I offer assistance? Marching out.
I guess I can just dash up here in case I need him. Let me see the situation with my other places. Okay, so now that we have all these trade partners, I think we're going to be able to sell everything for now. So it is actually worth it again to get any kind of thing we can get. Okay, so on Jerial, just go ahead and upgrade that. No, it's going to take so long.
You must restore order.
We can cancel those if we need them eventually, I suppose. That's probably fine. That's fine. Just in case we're waiting 4 turns here. Now the question is then, we can get lumber here also. Build that up. Probably should have built that last turn. Evershale. So we did get +3 public order if we want that. It's like 250 gold a turn from the trade advancements, and we also have public order. Takes 3 turns for that, though. Okay, so do we want to try to buy one of these extra buildings? We are getting 5,000 gold per turn for these things.
Guardian of Avalon.
Okay, so she's gonna move down there.
Protector of the Everqueen.
Tyrion, heir of an area.
Okay, so she can move over here to Evershale.
Greetings, my children.
The Reaper.
And he can move over here. Come on.
Entering the garrison.
Torfenu. Give me that. So we can sell all these trinkets, probably.
Everqueen of Althwan.
At your service.
Okay. And then she's moving down.
Everqueen's chosen.
She can move over here. I think she's the 5%.
A mighty warrior.
Keep production, right? Yes. And he has a more expensive army, so we'll go ahead and put her with him.
I stand with you.
Shield against the darkness.
And these two are coming down to hang out with Ilariel.
Champion of the Everqueen.
I guess we could go ahead and hire some gate guard.
Never.
Maybe next turn we'll come over here and grab some gate guard off
Not
of this.
possible.
So the question is now, so we're getting 5,000 gold per turn, so we'll get up to 20,000 gold. I think we can afford one more building here. So the question now is, do I want Dragon's Lair or do I want the Grand Repository? So do I want 4 dragons or do I want 3 sword masters and 2 lore masters and 6 extra winds of magic everywhere and extra research? I mean, dragons are a big deal. I remember in the other campaign, one of the main reasons I was able to win was because I had some dragons. I'm trying to think of what Chaos is going to come with. Obviously a bunch of like really powerful infantry. Like their sword and shield infantry is probably one of the only things that's going to be able to stand up to Sisters of Avalon, because they're going to have like either silver or golden shields with a lot of armor. We can probably focus fire out the halberds and then just maybe charge cycle them. We do need kind of a front line though. I mean, spears are a good front line. I think dragons are the more unique like unit though. Like we don't have anything that's like flying. They can deal with that. Dragons are also pretty good against Chaos Knights because I don't believe most of them have a bonus versus large. Like their tier 5 ones might. I don't think they'll have their tier 5 stuff with giants and things yet. But you can charge down and like stop their charge bonus. Just gives a lot of mobility. Like we don't have cavalry or anything right now in our units. It's basically just a bunch of archers and like spears. So having these kind of serve as cavalry could be helpful. Although once again, you know, having not tier 1 spears up against Chaos is probably a good idea too. We get 4 of these, ostensibly. War Master's pretty good, but we already have mages, you know, we're not gonna, like his magic is nice, it's cute, like we could use some harmonic convergence, you know, we could use some spirit leech. It's gonna take a while to get that online though, it's not gonna be immediate. And they're okay in combat, you know, they're pretty good, but, and these are obviously good. But spears do have more defense. I think it's the dragons. Just because that's the most unique thing right now that I can get, I feel. Even though I don't have the upgrades for them, like I just mentioned before. Just the fact that we could drop that fire on them and do a lot of damage, and the fact that we can just do things like flank them in the back. Terror-causing units. Now, a lot of them are immune to psych, I think. Just help us focus out their lords. Any other flying units they have, you know, it should do well into those. It's not as good as the Star Dragon, but 4 versus 3, I think is what it comes down to. And uniqueness, yeah, let's just go ahead and go with that. Now, they are super expensive, but we should have, like... Are we going to have the budget for that? We've got 5,000 gold extra to spare, so running those 4 dragons, though, will be an extra 4,000 gold.
Ready for
In addition to, like, all the sisters are going to be... I don't know. All these extra sisters. Let's see, if we replace Seaguard with sisters... Well, it's already included. I've already made space for the sisters. So each sister is going to be, like, 800 gold-ish. And I'm getting 9 of them. 800 times, that's 7,200 gold extra. That's already, we're over budget. I don't think we're coming up with any extra gold. So we can't afford an extra 4,000 maybe. I mean, we could get rid of this army over here. It's only 1,400 gold, though. It's not that much. Now, this would lower the overall army upkeep by some amount. I have to really trust these guys aren't going to come over and backstab me. Can I get peace with them? Bros, come on. You don't want to do this. If they come over here, it's going to be really annoying, but I think I have to drop this army off to save some money. I mean, I guess if Chaos comes straight down this coast, we could be pretty screwed if they just, like, bypass everything up here. I don't think they would do that, though.
The Asher bids you
It's a
well.
pretty valuable town. And I guess I could hire him back. He doesn't have that much. I could hire somebody back. Yeah, let's just cut the cost.
Ever loyal. A promising lieutenant.
We'll probably bring it back, bro. You got some good stuff going on here. Sort of. But we gotta cut you loose for now. And I did free up like 2,000 gold. So what sisters were gonna be 7,200, so now we can actually afford sisters and gate guard, sort of.
Ready to serve.
It is forbidden.
You called?
This guy's also expensive, but if they come over here, we have to try to put up a fight, I think. We can't give them this. We can give them this. That's fine. You know, I think, actually, I'm going to have to go with this. Just because, like, at least that has utility. You know, the units are cheaper, first of all. So having 3 of these is only going to be 2,100 gold versus 4 dragons is 4,000 gold. Then I also get the War Masters, which have, like, can have okay utility to them. As far as, like, a couple of, like, spells that could be interesting. Maybe, like, Harmonic Convergence. Then also you just get other stuff. Like, we get extra Winds of Magic, we get research rate. It could be a mistake. If these count as like specialty units and these are like rare monsters, then I would be able to have these instead of these. This is such a tough call. I guess I go with this. And I'm assuming that these are going to be a different classification from the Handmaiden. I'm afraid that the Sisters are going to be the same classification as the Swordmaster, so I'm going to have to choose. Whereas I think these might be either rare or elite units. Which would mean that they wouldn't compete for the same slot. So I guess I'll go for these, even though these are way more expensive. I think we'll go with that, because I think that's going to be competition. Although I might end up canceling that, just depending on what happens over the next couple of turns. Okay, and then Evershale, we got to throw something over here. What can we throw into Evershale? Growth. We do need to get to tier 5. Some growth, whatever. I think that's about it. We're not doing recruitment yet. Guess we just do trade. Here, what's up with this public order? Difficulty, provincial instability. Are we getting any public order? No. Getting money. Guess we got some public order. Although, I don't know. I need the money right now. We'll deal with the public order later. Okay, sorry. I know this is basically just like all city management stuff, but I really wasn't expecting Chaos to come running out that fast. We need to all hands on deck, trade money. Everywhere needs to be trade money, pretty much. Should give us a lot more cash, I think. Yeah, he's got like 50% more trade. So maybe we get up to like 10,000 gold here. Return, we looked at the diplomacy everywhere. We're about to get our techs, which is going to give us more port money. I think this is all good. We can use some influence probably on Teclis. He's going to be our closest person, I think. Okay, we got as much money as we could by asking random people for money. Let's see, we did move her already, right?
Her
Yep.
most
Okay.
loyal servant, Ilvoir.
Still gonna send her south. Actually, no, I don't need to send her south anymore. I forgot, because we see Teclis, like we don't need to go down there. Okay, so we'll turn her back around next turn. Or we throw her in an army. Pretty risky waiting for 4 turns. to try to hide. And then it's going to take, I think sisters take 2 or 3 turns, but because of Tyrion, they'll have 1 less turn that they take. Says they are a lot stronger than us, but we haven't hired our stuff yet.
Her light shines upon me.
Trace is going out there to fight him.
Protector of the Everqueen. Weigh anchor! Cast off!
Armored in faith.
They're all going out there to fight him.
Defender of the Phoenix throne.
It's like, bros, like, use your towns.
Devotee of the lady.
Let them come to you, man. This dude just like up here trolling him.
Despoil and ravage.
I guess he's scared to go meet him in the field. Money from industry, probably not insane. Well, I need, okay, got the armor. I'll keep for spearmen and archers. It's already on the cheap side, it's not insane. Gym setting, 10% from industry. I just don't think that's going to matter that much. Money from like trade would be good, but minus construction costs on buildings would be good, but yeah, we don't have a spice place. Guess just maybe it is spear wall. It's not a lot of extra damage, but it's something. I think it's better than anything else we're gonna have. Yes, it does apply to Seaguard. I'm just thinking if I want to get like a bunch of Seaguard also.
Isha bless you.
Alariel the Radiant.
Tyrion. A true Assur.
Probably just Foe Seeker, right? Get your vigor back. Now she's on the steed. I'm not... Yeah, I guess the steed can be good, because then she can get around behind him and fire if I want to have her serve that purpose. But she does have anti-large, so she can fight against their cav. That gives her a lot of armor. Yeah. Seems legit.
The Everqueen.
Let's go ahead and
Champion
throw
of
these
the
two in
Everqueen.
here.
My protection is yours. My protection is yours.
Alariel the Everqueen.
Cast
Let's
off.
throw this handmaiden up here and...
Prince. Setting up garrison.
Alright, Miss Nar, we'll go ahead and throw down. Start trying to throw up some walls over here.
The Asa are troubled.
We could drop over here and start to recruit some gate guard. These aren't really going to be like amazing against chaos, but having some sort of cav is nice. I mean, I guess we'll have dragons instead of cav. There'll be an argument for that. But, how many recruitment slots? That's the thing, is I need to hire like, you know, 10 units or something. And we're just not going to be able to hire that much here, probably. Now, as our public order gets better, we might be able to hire more. I think we need to save some, so we might go into the negative, like hiring some stuff. So I think we're going to hold off on this for at least a little bit. Just make sure we have enough to hire these things, because those dragons are probably going to be like 6,000 a piece or something to hire. I don't know. It's going to be ridiculous.
The people are restive.
See, local recruitment goes down a lot when it's red, so I wonder if it goes up a lot when it's green. I just don't know. Go with that. Is there a baby in there? Lothern. Yeah, there's just nothing I can buy here that's going to be worth getting right now. I mean, I could buy this and I would complete the quest, but not worried about the quest while chaos is running at me. We'll deal with the quest later. I mean, like, I could try to build marble here, but it's going to take, like, a lot of turns. I didn't even notice that before, the Black Citadel. I mean, cool concept, but what is this climate anyways? Like, wasteland or something? Yeah, wasteland. How can you not, like... How are you suitable for a temperate island, but you're not suitable for a temperate climate? That's what I don't understand. That just means I can't inhabit anything in the old world hardly, which is just really annoying, but whatever. Okay. Basically temperate is like pretty much only Ulthuan here. This is pretty much it.
Not one Druki on
They lost their
Nagaryth.
last army. Down to 3 properties. Oh, they lost that fight down there.
I kneel before Eothilir's tomb. Will you bow beside me? The end justifies the means.
Yeah, but you're about to get stomped, man, and I want you before you get obliterated.
Prince of Ulthuan, what would you ask of the Asa? Very well. Wise indeed.
Yes, we'll bro up with them. I really don't need to fight them. I don't need their property. I don't care. I can eventually confederate with them. Now that Chaos is here. Once we deal with Chaos, we can start coming over here to try to rescue Nagaroth.
Wisdom awaits. Very well. Speak, if you must. I suppose. All right.
There is only vent. How fares your soft southern realm, my kin? Not this time.
Defender of the field. What would you ask of the Asa? Unwise.
Armored in faith.
Bow before the rightful lords of the realm, and I will hear your demands.
It's good get me into trouble if they start fighting some of my friends. That's why I could do military access for money. But I really don't want to make like alliances with them. Because I can't confederate with them. That's always kind of my policy. Often, unless I really, really need the money, or I'm really trying to like get a certain political angle.
Welcome to fair Britain.
By default, you should not do
Greetings. Who seeks my wise counsel?
military alliances with people that could go to war with other people that you have military alliances with. Because that'll force you to break a treaty.
No
one way or another.
evildoer may
It's
receive
bad
the
for
blessings
business.
of the lady.
You ask for a boon.
Non-aggro.
Speak, and I will see if it is within my power to give.
You better be asking me for a boon, son. Come over there and save your butt from all this chaos here in a second. So you can buy my trinkets. No.
Never.
Paying for it, for sure. You're paying for this protection, son.
Do you know who I am? The lady grants you safe
gonna take them a
passage
second
in
for
these
they-
lands.
Kick in.
Lord of Britain, bow before the rightful lords of the realm, and I'll hear your demands.
Alright, we'll give him a second. Let all that kick in a bit more.
Armored in bow
is actually
before the
kinda liking us a
rightful
lot
lords
now.
of the realm, and I'll hear your demands.
The Empire. Approach us, friend, and make your offer.
Fine.
Yes.
I do want to be able to walk through their territory. Oh, looks like that's already been burned. That's weird. I usually don't see Ostland win this battle up here. Usually it's either Empire or Midland. That's kind of a cool change of pace.
Come then. Only Sigma's god, Ulrich, can judge it worthy or no.
Getting every penny I can.
Right.
Penny pension.
Ready.
Friends of the Empire.
You know about that
come.
penny pension, dear? She knows all about it. That's why she married me. She's like, oh, baby, you're so cheap. I love it. Never spend a dime on anything.
Kislev.
Awesome.
My glacial majesty Katarina bids you welcome to Kislev.
Okay, they are rich and they are down for some help.
Who calls?
You have a proposal? We are willing to hear it.
Yes, give me your 200 gold per turn. Give me 300 on top of that.
Empire's blessing. Yes.
Where? Oh. Okay, they're way over here. So the other place already got run over. Why is Carcassonne all the way down here? I guess maybe they killed Skaven? I don't know. That's weird. Alright. She's getting upset here.
Need me? Welcome to the halls of Athelloren. What do you want? Wise indeed. Azray, the woods of Athelloren welcome you.
Yeah, I want more money, but... Pinching them pennies. Pinching them. Daddy's got to buy some dragons. Alright. Isn't that right, honey?
We have shaped this world.
They're crying about something random. I don't know. Wife's probably taunting her with a sandwich.
Lethal grace given third.
Okay, I think we got everything we needed in here. Just one final sweep. Do we need this in Avalon? New public order. I don't think we need that. I mean, the walls are nice, but they're not getting through these gates. I'm pretty sure they're not getting through these gates. If they do, we're in big trouble. You upset her. We could use some intrigue on homeboy up here, but he might die before we can get up there. We've got to try to go save him, as I really want his he has like this buff that gives everybody extra missile damage, like faction wide. It's like, I don't know what the number is, but it's a lot. I think it's faction wide. It might only be just for him, but anyway, he's a legendary lord. I mean, you want your legendary lords if you can get them. High elves have, they don't have the most. They've got to be pretty close to the most legendary lords. What you have? Alariel, Alethanar, Tyrion, Teclis. Is it just 4?
Welcome. What brings you here?
Who? Beastman? And Blatcher. Nah, bro. We'll fight. Well, the problem is if I go to war with the Beastmen and then they spawn in my territory, then they're automatically going to come at me. I don't know. This would help me out diplomatically with him. Let's see if he'll pay me for it. Moderate. Can you give me some money? Send me like 300. I'll do it. Okay. Because once you go to war with the Beastmen, you're never getting peace. Like, you're never getting peace with them if you don't have to. Oh, what? Where'd they come from? Teclis is getting messed up too. I guess Dark Elves have what? Marathi? Helibron. The dude to the south now. Malekith. Yeah, I guess they have 4. I don't think any faction has 5. Do dwarves have 5? Dwarves have Slayer King, Thorgrim, Belagar. The only 3 I'm thinking of. Oh, wow, White Dwarf. That's 4. Tomb Kings had 4, I believe, when they came out. They're like released with 4, that expansion pack. Vampire Coast has 4. Archon, Singer, Sartosa, and Dude at Seas, that's 4. Skaven have Tretch, Queek, Plague, Rat. Skaven only have 3, I think. Yeah. Oh, I took it in the car for the playground. So a lot of them have like 4 or 3. I think Empire has Carl, Balthazar, Fanatical Dude. Is there another one? Does Empire only have 3? I feel like there's another one I'm forgetting with Empire. Wizardmen only have 2, I think, right? Wizardmen have been like really shafted in terms of like DLC and like free LC. Yeah, Wizardmen only have 2, right? They've got Mazda Mundi and the Saurus guy, which are kind of uninspired. DLC. Oh, my wife wanted to sing some TLC. You can still sing it if you want to, dear. Started singing Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls. I don't know if you can hear that or not. You still got your signed album, dear? Now Beastmen are showing up all over the place. Hashtag 90s. Yes. How much longer do we have on the Confederation? 2 more turns, so we should be able to Confederate again. It's like you get the penalty for the 10 turns, but then it just refreshes it if you Confederate at the 5th turn. Vampires have... Do vampires have 5 normal vampires? It's... Manfred. I think vampires might actually have 5. You got Manfred, you've got the Necromancer dude who sucks. You have the other Necromancer guy who's okay. Yeah, and then you have Isabella and Vlad. That's 5. So vampires are the one faction has like 5. That's because Isabella and Vlad kind of have an interaction with each other where they're released at the same time, and it's like if you have both of them, if they're like reinforcing each other, they get extra bonuses. So they're kind of like released together as kind of like one, you know, one faction with like a common territory or whatever.
World Walker.
I think Norska only has 2 also. Norska's been kind of screwed over in that respect too. Norska only has Wolfric and the Troll, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, like Norska and Lizardmen have been the 2. Lizardmen's a main faction, though. That was one of the core, like, 4 factions that was released. Now, they are releasing, like, I think Lizardmen are up next to get stuff. But, sorry there wasn't a fight this episode. We're already at 1 hour 15, so we're going to have to move. It's a lot of city management. Even though I swear I did, like, 2 hours of it off camera. I just did not know that Wizardmen were going to come at me like that. Where's Chaos? What is this?
Setting sail.
Where are they going? Are they not coming straight for me? Didn't they spawn like right here? Are they going this way? There's a lot of stuff that's burned up here. So it's either Skaven or Beastmen have been kind of on a warpath. Well, they aren't in sight yet. It was a 4 stack, I think. I thought they used to spawn 6 stacks. But it looks like probably we're going to get to make our units first. Which would be nice. Okay, it can potentially give us more recruitment capacity is what it looks like. So it says recruitment capacity +0. So we could get 2 extra recruitment capacity, which would be
Shield
delightful.
against the darkness.
We'd be able to hire 6.
Lord of the Phoenix Court.
Okay, but that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you very much for tuning in. Sorry we didn't get a fight here. We will go up and fight Chaos soon. We already kind of agreed not to fight Trace, so that would have been a cool fight if Chaos didn't come out like immediately. But I think right now we have more pressing issues. We need to
Honor before glory.
deal with Chaos first of all. We're probably going to have to send an army over here to help. That's a huge commitment, though, because we don't have that much gold. I mean, it looks like we do, but remember, once we put in all these, like, dragons and sisters and try to get like a respectable army that can actually fight chaos, you know, all this money's going to go away. But if we let them start coming over here and burning this stuff, we're going to have a problem.
Challenge undeniable.
So it's not like like with other factions. If chaos burns all the stuff with some of them, it's like, okay, cool, I can go over there and just like reoccupy and build up those towns eventually, and I'll make more money. No, like high elves don't make any money in their towns. You have to have trade partners to make money. Like, it's actually more valuable for you in many respects in the campaign to not occupy and just to protect and trade, as long as you have enough resources. Like, obviously you want to occupy key places, good places with ports, like diamond mine places, stuff like that, gold mines. That kind of stuff can still be valuable, but a lot of places it's rough. Now this is good occupation territory because it's all green, which is crazy to me. They'd rather be in like this frozen wasteland up here instead of like, you know, temperate area over here. But anyways, okay, so thank you very much for tuning in. We should get some good fights the next couple episodes. Once again, sorry we didn't get one this episode, but we had to sort of sort everything out and readjust from the chaos popping out. But we should be able to get some cool units here. We'll get some dragons. We'll get some Sisters of Avalorn. Then we'll go out and start fighting them. So anyways, that's going to be it. Thank you very much. Have a good day, and I'll see you next time. Don't forget, like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Check out the rest of the stuff on the channel, and come by the stream sometime if you like as well, around 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 1:30 a.m. most nights. Ask some questions, chill, hang out, have a good time, and I'll see everybody next time.